Elder Quintin L. Cook of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles will be our concluding speaker.
In 1842, John Wentworth, editor of the Chicago Democrat, wrote to Joseph Smith requesting information about the church. The prophet Joseph replied and concluded his response by using the standard of truth as a preface to what we know today as the 13 Articles of Faith. As I toured missions, many missionaries memorized the standard of truth. It conveys in a concise way what must be accomplished. No unhallowed hand can stop the work from progressing. Persecutions may rage, mobs may combine, armies may assemble, calumny may defame, but the truth of God will go forth boldly, nobly, and independently, till it has penetrated every continent, visited every clime, swept every country, and sounded in every ear, till the purposes of God shall be accomplished, and the great Jehovah shall say, the work is done. Happiness has hardly changed over 50 years. Rich countries do not get happier as they get richer. Happiness has little to do with material wealth, nor does permanent happiness come from entertainment or fun and games. Instead of being diversions from an otherwise productive life, these pursuits have become all-consuming to many people. The economist quoted Adam Smith, the father of capitalism, as questioning, how many people ruin themselves by laying out money on things of frivolous utility? Unfortunately, much of what is available today is not just frivolous, but also morally reprehensible. Our challenge is to share the joyous, eternally significant gospel with our brothers and sisters so that they can find peace and happiness and exaltation. The prophet Joseph taught that the Book of Mormon is the keystone of our religion, and a man would get near to God by abiding his precepts, not by any other book. This is a true account, but the names have been changed. The Elders Quorum President, working with the missionaries, invited less active members to listen to the missionaries' lessons. Samuel had over a period of time become less active and was living with a woman who met at work, who I shall call Anne. As the missionary started to teach Samuel, Anne refused to sit in on the lessons. In Samuel's discussions with her, she indicated that in the religion in which she was raised, she exhausted the clergy with what, to her, were seemingly unanswerable questions, like, why do bad things happen to good people? What happens in the next life? And different aspects of the Bible. She was disillusioned with Christianity and lived a classic, rebellious lifestyle that occurs with many young people. As Samuel started to attend church, Anne began to read the Book of Mormon, gave up smoking, attended church with him, and began to pray. She did extensive research on the church and its doctrines. Finally, she realized that she had a firm testimony. She repented and made sacrifices, including being persecuted by family members, associates, and old friends who attempted to dissuade her. She and Sam were married. She was baptized. She's teaching a class at the planet on the temple ceiling next year.